How's it going, guys? My name is ThePokeKid. Welcome back to the channel and yet another video. In today's video, as you can see on the screen, we are doing a Pokemon ROM hack rating tier list. Now, I've got probably 70% of the ROM hacks I've played in the last 5 years here. There's probably quite a few that I've missed, not gonna lie. But these are the ones that I've at least played through. So, I'm going to be rating these from S to D. Pretty self-explanatory. I also just spat on my mic. That's disgusting. Yucky. I'm also going to rate these ROM hacks 0 through 10. 0 obviously being, please never play this in your life if you can help it. And 10 being, oh my god, yes, play this now. Now, I have 42 hacks on this list. As you can see here. I think it's 42. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 37. There should be more. There is some missing. It's okay. We can get over that. So, starting off, we've got Fire Red VR missions. This is easy B tier. It's a very interesting take on a Pokemon ROM hack. Arguably, one of the more unique hacks out there without it being weird. It's basically Pokemon escape room puzzles. And that can range from, you know, say, just dodge these trainers to win these fights with limited PP. Simple as that, really. I give it a 6.8. You should play this, honestly. If you want something different that isn't your regular Pokemon experience, definitely give it a go. Blaze Black 2 Redux. This is easy S tier. One of the best ROM hacks out there. Simple as that. I love it, honestly. I played through this like 3 or 4 times. I've already got playthroughs on the channel. Did a gift only run. I have Nuzlocked it. It was my first ever Deathless Nuzlocke win. Outside of like a vanilla game, which is pretty damn good. But this game is so different to regular Black and White 2. Oh my goodness. So many things have changed. So many quality of life changes added. It's just really, really, really fun to play. I give this an easy 9.6. It's a really, really fun ROM hack. If you want to get into Nuzlocking as well, I do recommend this as well. Ash Grey. It's a bit dated nowadays. It goes in a C tier. It could probably weasel its way into B tier. But like, it's a pretty dang good ROM hack. I played this ages ago now. Like, I mean, when I was like that big. I'm now like that big or something. I don't fucking know. This was played long ago. I give it like a 5.8. It takes you through Ash's story based off of the Pokemon anime, which, to be honest, I was interested in as a kid, but I sort of fell out of love with, in a way. I didn't really get too entertained by it in later seasons. It was a lot of filler, blah, blah, blah. But this takes you on the story pretty damn well. As I said, I give it a 5.8. It probably could weasel its way in here. I'm going to leave it in B tier for now. Toho Insane. So, everything I said about this game, right? Imagine the complete opposite. Quality of life changes against the player. This game is so bad that it was rated in the top 5 worst ROM hacks ever made by SHF. He rated this in the top 5 worst ever hacks. So I decided to play through it. Casually, of course. Viridian Forest is a flash maze where you don't have flash. Victory Road soft locks you if you make one wrong step. There's literally Elite Formons with over 1500 BST. There's also an Elite Formon with 5 special attack in Blizzard. This game is just terrible. Oh, literally, there might have been half an hour in this game that I didn't want to pull my hair out playing. It's so freaking bad, dude. I give this a 0.2. Like, never play it. Please, never. Never, 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 if you can't. If you don't have to, don't. Blue Kaizo, it's S tier. What can I say? It's one of the hacks that made me fall in love with Pokemon again. Actually, Nuzlocking it as well. I enjoyed it so much, dude. It's just, you're able to play so aggressively and get away with it so often, and then so often you get punished as well. It's such a good ROM hack. It's a masterpiece of Generation 1 made by SHF, honestly. Oh, everything about this game is so good. Dude. It's like easy in my top 5 favorite ROM hacks ever. I give it a 9.4. Crystal Kaizo. Now, I think last time I gave this B tier. I think this time, regular Crystal Kaizo sits in A tier. I tried to do something no one's ever done in this game, and hardcore Nuzlocke it. I got to Red. I got to Red's final Pokemon, and lost to a low roll. I don't think I could have ever replicated that run, but I tried to, in 61 attempts? Around 60 attempts. I got to Red in 10. But, as a whole, this game, it's awkward. It really is a little bit awkward. If you're going to Nuzlocke it, use items. It's probably possible without them. I mean, I didn't use items in my run, obviously. It was hardcore Nuzlocke. But I don't think I could ever do it again. Even if I had like 1,000 or 6,000 attempts, I don't think I'd be able to redo it. It was super RNG reliant from like Victory Road onward. Pretty much every AI Pokemon is over level 100. And while your Pokemon are effectively level 112, because of the badge boost, it doesn't really feel like it in the end. The end game of this game is super rough. I will say that. Like, it feels like you're pushing against this immovable object. Especially if you're hardcore Nuzlocking. Ruby Destiny Reign of Legends is C tier. It's a very old ROM hack. I will say that. Like, very old. I think I'm meant to put Life of Guardians here. I'm not 100% sure. I can't really remember, to be honest. But as a whole, these games, I mean, at the time, they were pretty damn good. They're just outdated now, honestly. They're outdated by so many advancements in the GBA ROM hacking community. Like, Blue Kaiser, it's a very old ROM hack. Don't get me wrong, it's nearly 10 years old as of this year. But, so is Crystal Kaiser. But those ROM hacking communities have advanced, but not to a point where, say, Radical Red, Inclement Emerald, all those kind of games are. Snakewood. Also, ratings. Crystal Kaiser, 8.2. Reign of Legends, 5.1. Snakewood. Now, this is just so odd. I'm putting it low B. I can't put it higher. I could put it lower. I might put it C tier, like top of C. Imagine this. The zombie apocalypse is real in Pokemon. Pokemon get infected by zombies. The story takes a different twist. It's a little bit dark. It's a little bit edgy. It's just so odd. Some of the things in this game are really, really imbalanced. Like, I think Gorlax has like 680 BST, which is basically the zombified Snorlax. So many things are weird in this game. There's custom Pokemon, all sorts of stuff, obviously. There's zombie-infected Pokemon. But, like, it's just weird. The gameplay is odd. It just... I can't rate it any higher. I'm gonna put it down. I say it could be... It's B tier. It's not. It's C tier at best. Fire Red Omega. This is B tier. I think I put it in, like, the top of C last time. It's definitely B. I've replayed through it recently, and it's grown on me a bit more. This is the game that basically started it all for Driano hacks. And it's a really refreshing way to play Fire Red if you don't want all the extra stuff that, say, Radical Red has. Or whatever. Like, it's a very, very enjoyable just to run through. And it's a very quick game as well, so I noticed. Blaze Black 2 is also S tier. The demake, so to speak, of Redux. Redux is a remake of Blaze Black 2, if I didn't already say that. Blaze Black 2 still has all of its charm that it ever had, honestly. It's Black 2 on steroids. And, like, I'm a Gen 5 fanboy. This game is almost perfect. There's so many good moments in this game. I think I've Nuzlocked it twice on the channel. I think? I'm not 100% sure. Luminescent, however. Oh, ratings. I keep forgetting. 4.9. I'm not going to say it's better than Renegade Legends. Like, it's okay. Fire Red Omega is an easy, like, 6.5. So that puts it above Ash Grey. Blaze Black 2. I'm going to say it's like 9.2. Redux has sort of blown it out of the water compared to a lot of modern ROM hacks, which is unfortunate, because Blaze Black 2 is still a really enjoyable game to play through. They have difficulty modes, man. These games are so fun. Luminescent, though. This could be the game to take the mantle of the greatest ROM hack ever made. Genuinely. To start off with, they made BDSP enjoyable to play. It's Renegade Platinum ported to the Switch. They have plans to add at least the first 8 generations of Pokemon. There's custom forms, custom scenarios, custom music, custom battle backgrounds. They're even gonna add Megas at this rate, bro. I don't know if they'll add Megas, to be honest. But, like, there's so many advancements being made in this hacking community that it's incredible. Dude, like, I've got a second Switch. I've literally modded it to play, like, 5 games. And this is one of them. Like, you either need a modded Switch or a beefy computer to play this. This is why it's probably not going to be as high rated as these 3, for example. Because I also want to rate it on how playable is it as well. That's one of the ratings that I'm sort of basing it off. But it's almost perfect. I will say that. If you have a beefy computer or have the ability to mod your Switch, please give this game a try. It is so good. It's like a 9.3 in my book. But it could definitely be a 10 with coming advancements, honestly. Blaze Black. Now, it's better than CK. It's S tier. Like, what more can I say? It's one of Driano's older hacks in comparison nowadays to a lot of his newer hacks. But it's just so good, man. It's refreshing. The early game is punishing. The mid game is smooth. The late game is punishing. It's like Blaze Black 2 as well, in that regard. But this game's just... If you want to play the regular black and white experience, again, play this. Honestly, it has so many good things going for it. Genuinely, I wouldn't say that this isn't the best way to play black and white. If you want to play black and white 1, this is the way to go. 9.1. Eternal X. Another up-and-coming ROM hack almost. It's a few years old now. I say up-and-coming. This game, it made Gen 6 enjoyable for me to play. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it. Gen 6 was mid otherwise. This game made it really enjoyable for me. This basically takes the Generation 6 XP share as well and actually scales the game appropriately. There's so many challenging fights, but you have the resources to do everything with it. It's like nearly perfectly balanced, and that's one of the biggest things in a ROM hack. Until you get to the Elite Four, where triple battle, Primordial Sea, I think Primordial Sea, Swift Swim. Oh, Cybold is scary. I'm doing a 1 Death Equals reset run of this casually at the moment, and I'm at Dendermill Town. This game is so fun, man. I've done a Nuzlocke of this off camera as well. I really, really enjoyed playing this. It's a shame that there's no real version of this for Oraz. Or at least, not that I know of. If there is, link it in the let me know in the comments. I give this an easy, like, 9.3, 9.4. The Elite Four is the only thing that could bring it down. Vintage White. This is A tier. It's not as good as Blaze Black and Volt White. But it does it... It's a ROM hack that took something different and made it work. This game... So you'll see that there's a Rayquaza on the cover. It's a Unova game, but the only Pokemon you can use before the Elite Four are from Generations 1 through to 3. Now you'd think, oh, 386 Pokemon. So, is it a difficulty hack? Yes. It's harder than Blaze Black, I'd say, as a whole. However, the power creep in this game is real. Like, there are so many buffs in this game. Electrode, I'm looking at you, Mr. 150 attack, 150 special attack, 150 speed. Or whatever it was, I honestly can't remember. But it's just really enjoyable, honestly. Like, a lot of fights will spring on you out of nowhere and just absolutely demolish you if you're not careful. A lot of the optionals are really, really tough. They'll actually have good synergy in their teams. And it's not something you see in a lot of ROM hacks. That just random trainers will have good synergy in their teams, rather than just, go Rattata, go Pidgey, go Weedle. You know what I mean? Blue Kaizo Plus. Now you're wondering why Blue Kaizo's on this list twice. This is why. Blue Kaizo Plus. It's a very, very recent ROM hack released, I think, this year by Safetyman and Jofa. Now, it's not as good as Blue Kaizo. I'm going to say that. But at the same time, the Elite Four is beatable without items. So I found out on my first attempt of Nuzlocking this. I've Nuzlocked most of these ROM hacks, by the way, I will say that. So, Blue Kaizo Plus made the Elite Four level 100 rather than 115. This means that you can actually do things. Now, it has all of the qualities that Blue Kaizo has. But it's also swapped a couple of things around. Seadra has Kingdra stats, a couple of Pokemon have had change stats. But one massive thing that changes the way this game gets played is that Blaine and Sabrina have been swapped. So you actually have to go down to Cinnabar Island, get your encounters through there, before going to Silphco. And this way, it's actually streamlined as well. Because in a Blue Kaizo Nuzlocke, I could go to Blaine and beat Blaine, and then back and beat Sabrina. Just like in regular Pokemon, Blue and Yellow and Red. But this has also been scaled a bit more effectively as well. However, as I actually let them be aware of, Aerodactyl feels a little too powerful, and Victory Road is a little bit easy, it almost feels like. But hey, that's not up to me. I give this a 9.1. It's very enjoyable. If you want to play Blue Kaizo and not deal with the BS that you can get in the end game, this is probably the way to go, to be honest with you. Bloody Platinum. Do you want to catch a level 70 Mew in Eterna Forest? Or not be able to run away and lose your entire run? This is the game for you. This game is interesting. There's a lot of custom forms. By that, I mean Shadow Legendaries are everywhere. The Elite Four is uber spam. But you get access to really, really, really powerful stuff pretty much from the offset. It's okay. I give it a 4.1. Like, I don't recommend playing this. I really don't. Dragon Ball Z Team Training. I played this when I was like 13, 14, obsessed with DBZ. It's C tier. It's mid C tier. It's really outdated. It doesn't have a lot of the quality of life changes that modern ROM hacks do. However, it's just a different spin on Pokemon, man. Like, there's not much you can say. It's like a 5.5. Like, it's okay. Inclement Emerald is S tier, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a mod in that server. This game is really, really, really intriguing, and it has so much potential to just go clear. To genuinely be competition for Radical Red. No one expected it to just fly out of nowhere. People laugh when you say that it could be competition with Radical Red and how far that game has also gotten. This game is catching up. Buffalo has made another masterpiece here with this game. I think it came out 2021, end of 2021. Basically, this game adds Megas, up to Gen 7 Pokemon, custom forms, custom Megas, an increased level curve, difficulty modes, level cap options. It just has everything you can ask for in a Gen 3 ROM hack. And I'm not just saying that. Like, this has nearly as much going for it as Radical Red. And that's a massive compliment, honestly. This game is amazing. I love it, honestly. I've got to replay it. I think I've Nuzlocked it. I'm not 100% sure. It's in my... I've got a document of Nuzlocke wins. I think this is on it. If not, we know what I've got to do sometime then, hey. This is a 9.6. This is really, really top tier ROM hack. Prismatic Moon Photonic Sun. I've got Photonic Sun on here twice. This is another buffle hack, by the way. I played through this a while ago now. I'm putting it A tier. It's a bit foggy up there, I'm not gonna lie. But I did enjoy the fact that the AI actually had EVs. I will say that. This game is really, really tough as well. Like, you can have 1 or 2 deaths and it snowballs into like 12. Rather than say 1 or 2 deaths, it snowballs to 4. You will get hardcore punished in this game if you're not careful. I give it like an 8.5. It's pretty fun. You should definitely give it a go. But yeah, Dark Rising. It's not as bad as Toho Insane. It's not much better. It's a 1.6. Emerald Kaizo. It's S tier, man. Like, I don't need to argue this point. Emerald Kaizo is arguably one of the greatest difficulty ROM hacks ever made. And I just say that because of the difficulty. It's pure perfection. If you want a ROM hack that will punish you for making misplays, will punish you for doing stuff wrong, this is the ROM hack for you. If you're a masochist like me, this is the ROM hack for you. I love this game. I think the first time I played through it was probably 2 or 3 years ago. I'm gonna Nuzlocke this game this year, by the way. We're in February. I'm gonna have this game Nuzlocked by the end of the year. I don't care how long it takes. This game is just pure awesomeness. I love it. All 386 Pokemon are available. It's just that a lot of them are locked to the post game. A lot of Pokemon have had base stat changes. A lot of trainers have had increased difficulty. Everything is good in this game. I love it. I love it. 9.7. I put it above Redux. Renegade Platinum. Now, before you soy boys comment in the comment section, Renegade Platinum's the best ROM hack of all time. Hey, it goes below these purely because of this. I can't put it in the same tier because it's the same game almost. Like, you can say that with Blaze Black 2 Redux and Blaze Black 2, but these are 2 different games. There's so many things change. These 2 are 2 completely different games because there's massive sections that are changed. Renegade Platinum is A tier. This has everything going for it. It's probably going to be an A tier ROM hack that has the same rating as most of the S tier ROM hacks. It's like a 9.3 in my book. I really love it. And the reason I rate it so highly is because it is playable on pretty much anything. You know, I can get my Switch out and play it. I can get my phone out and play it. I can get my DS out and play it. Like, this is an accessible ROM hack. If you want a ROM hack and if you're trying to get into, say, Nuzlocking ROM hacks, because vanilla games feel a little bit easy now, this is arguably the best place to start. Renegade Platinum is one of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had playing Pokemon. Check out my Nuzlocke series on the channel. I've done a full series of it, playing through the entire game, through to Cynthia 2, and I've done the Battle Marathon in the post-game. I loved it. I really loved this. I'm going to say it, it's a 9.5 in A tier. Realistically, it should be an S tier, but oh, look, it can go there. It can go there. Unbound. Now, this is one of a couple of ROM hacks that I rated really lowly last time. A tier. Easily A tier. Completely custom region. Up to I want to say 7 Pokemon? I'm playing through it at the moment with a blind hardcore Nuzlocke on the channel. Check it out. I'm advertising my own videos every single time I talk about them in this. But this ROM hack is really, really enjoyable. Completely custom UI. Megas. Gen 7 Pokemon. I really enjoy it. Honestly, I have never played through the entirety of Unbound, but I'm really enjoying what I'm doing at the moment with it. Honestly, it's A tier. It's 8.6. Garbage Green. Now, it's C tier to me. I didn't really enjoy it. Like, it takes... So, if you're not sure what Garbage Green is, I probably ought to clarify. It is a version of Pokemon Leaf Green that basically restricts the player as much as possible, but giving them just enough resources so that they can succeed. Potions, you might think, oh, can I just go to the Pokemon and buy them? No. Can I go buy a whole lot of things? No. These sort of things are limited resources to the player. So much that you actually have to be very wary of it. And I didn't really enjoy that, to be honest with you. I enjoy just a little bit of freedom. So, and by trash lock, it means that a lot of the good, strong Pokemon have been removed. A lot of evolutions, removed. And it takes that sort of concept to 11. And I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. Rising Ruby is top of B tier. This game's pretty fun, to be honest. If you want an ORAS playthrough experience that isn't just ORAS, this is the way to go, honestly. It was pretty enjoyable for me. I didn't, play a lot in the end. Like, I played it, and that's about as far as it went. Like, I played through it. Rising Ruby, like, I want to say 6.8, 6.9? Also, Garbage Green gets like a 5.2. Like, it was playable, but that's about as far as I got. Pokemon Clover. This is a ROM hack that's a little bit aged nowadays, but I don't mind it. Like, I actually enjoyed playing through it. So, this ROM hack has copped a bit of flack in the community for being extremely offensive. And, to be honest, I can see why. It was based off of a lot of 4chan in the mid-2000s, and I'm sure you can imagine what that means. There's all sorts of bad things in this game, but on a whole, it's a really, really well-made ROM hack. It's a technological marvel, and I'm not just saying that because this was made before this, made before this, made before a lot of these ROM hacks that blew the ROM hacking community right up. This was made before them. And it has so many good things in it. It has a completely custom Pokedex, completely custom region, completely custom things. It's just generally a really enjoyable ROM hack to play. If you're not into, say, a whole lot of offensive remarks, rude things, bad language, all that sort of stuff, probably steer away from this one. Or if you're young, steer away from this. But as a whole, I give it like an 8.3, 8.4. It's pretty fun. Bidoof version. How do I even rate Bidoof version without just putting it straight at S tier with a 10 rating, bro? Come on. It's Bidoof. He deserves it. Oh, yeah, Bidoof. Bidoof. It's Bidoof, bro. Kaizo White 2 is D tier. It is on the same level as Dark Rising. It's not as cringy, edgy, or anything like that. It's just so many custom things just drive it to the bottom of the barrel. Qualix, I don't think, ever playtested this. However, I will say, this game has had somewhat of a remake in recent times. I think in the last, 6 months or so. It seems a lot better. I'm not kidding. This gets like a 2.2. Emerald Rogue, another S tier ROM hack. There's so many S tier ROM hacks on this list, dude, it's not even funny. Emerald Rogue is an absolute marvel to play. I love it, honestly. So, it's such a different experience. These games are so hard to explain when they're completely different to normal Pokemon. Like, this game, it streamlines everything for you, but it feels so replayable. It's like everything you would ever want in a roguelike Pokemon game on crack. I love it. It's 9.4 for me. It scales really well. You get enough to win on any difficulty level. There's so many custom modes. Oh, this is so fun. Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Skies. This is A tier. So, Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Skies is one of the greatest side games, spin-off games in Pokemon history. Arguably the best. This ROM hack is essentially the Drayano hack of that. However, there's a few things that are missing, and sometimes the game can feel really up and down with difficulty, and I wasn't a big fan of that in Mystery Dungeon. Like, I like difficulty, just not so much in Mystery Dungeon. I enjoy actually playing the game. But as a whole, this game is really, really fun to play. Like, after you, I want to say, Steam Cave? The game felt pretty balanced after that. It was just up until that point, it was like down and then up and then down and then up. Crystal Kaizo Plus. I'm going to put this in S tier. Now, it's going to sit at the bottom of S tier. It's better than Crystal Kaizo in many ways, just by enough. This has basically made Crystal Kaizo a generally hardcore Nuzlockable experience, and I do enjoy it. And I really, really rate what the Pokemon Challenges community did for this game, making it hardcore Nuzlockable without requiring a probably 1 in 50 million RNG. So there's only a few real quality of life changes in the game that made this game so much more enjoyable to play and so much quicker as well. So you've got a training kit to edge your Pokemon, a candy bag to rare candy your Pokemon, a healing kit, a pocket PC. It's all you need, honestly. And the level curve has been changed so that, say, from Victory Road onwards, the enemies aren't just level 100 plus. The enemies don't actually hit a level 100 until Mount Silver, where you have to fight the Elite Four Round 2 rematch and Red, which made it really enjoyable for me to play. I'm rating it a 9.1. It is better than Crystal Kaizo in many a way. And it's also got the amazing calc made by Emmy. Oh my god, you're a legend, honestly. The Emmy calc is one of the best calcs I've ever seen in Pokemon, honestly. Like, we don't see a lot of custom calcs, but this one blows it out of the water. It basically has a master sheet, encounter tables, your box, your calc, every enemy trainer. You can calc straight away in this game. It's so streamlined and so optimized. I honestly could rate it higher, but I'm not gonna, because the other ROM hacks above it just are better, in my opinion. Pokemon Intense Indigo. This is A tier. So, it's got a similar concept to Blue Kaizo. However, in the Intense Indigo version, rather than Indigo Light, enemies can reach up to level 127, which is pretty daunting. Don't get me wrong. However, this game you get EVs, and you get your badge boost, which basically puts you somewhat on par. This game is somewhat of a custom story, for Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Blue in this case. Custom maps as well, which are really, really nice. I can't really explain. And I didn't even play it that long ago. It was like 9 months ago. I just really enjoyed it. Like, I really enjoyed playing through it, you know. Team Rocket actually are evil in this game. They're trying to do a bit more than they were in, say, vanilla Pokemon, which is nice. It just makes it a different experience and it's really enjoyable. I can't keep saying that, but it is. It's an 8.7 in my book. Radical Red, this game. Don't look at the previous time I did this video, please. It was like here. It was C tier. Radical Red, a technological masterpiece nowadays. I've played through it a lot more. I nearly got champed on attempt 1. I wiped 2 champ on attempt 1 of normal mode, that is. Radical Red, dude. It's everything I said about Inclement Emerald, Radical Red does as well. Radical Red is also expanded into the post-game now, which is amazing. Inclement Emerald does have plans to do that as well, I will say that. Radical Red is the Kanto experience if you want arguably the best experience playing Pokemon. If you want the best Kanto experience, this is how you get it. Radical Red has difficulty modes. It's got everything you could ever want. It's even got randomizers in the game. Like, what? Unbound has this as well. I'm not sure if Inclement has it yet. There might be randomizer mode options from custom patches. But, like, everything you can literally ever want in a ROM hack is in Radical Red at the moment. And there's plans for more. Hey, bro. 9.8. This is arguably the best ROM hack out there at the moment. Red++. This one gets a bit of nostalgia points, but it's better than these 4 as well. It's been a while since I played it, I'm not gonna lie. Probably 3 or 4 years. But if you want an experience in Red and Blue that isn't quite Kaizo, but changes a lot of things about the game, evidently, as you can see, Latios and Professor Oak, it's just really fun. I'm gonna put it higher even. like, it's arguably the best Gen 1 ROM hack out there that isn't like a Kaizo ROM hack. And there's not that many Gen 1 ROM hacks for the games to be 26 years old almost. But, like, they're just really good. Pokemon Red and Blue DX. These also sit on the same level. So this is basically a different version of this game, in my book. Red DX, I think... Oh, God. I'm having to remember. This is years ago since I played this game. These two were really enjoyable, but I just can't put them any higher, honestly. The other experiences for those generations are just better. It's the same with Luminescent and Renegade Platinum, except Renegade Platinum is a genuine go-tier ROM hack. Flora Sky sits on the same level as Ash Gray. It's a very, very, very old ROM hack. One of the OGs in the ROM hacking community, alongside Glazed, which I've noticed is missing. That is an A-tier ROM hack. It's better in any way, shape, and form, pretty much. Flora Sky... Oh my god, it was one of the first ROM hacks I ever played, dude. Same with Ash Gray. I can't rate them any higher nowadays. These three are very outdated. I can't lie. Fire Red Omega is obviously the lesser of these evils, but it's just, I can't rate them higher. They are top tier ROM hacks from their time. Flora Sky gets like a 5.5. These two get a 6.2. Yellow Kaizo. Now, this ROM hack was made a few years ago. It's not as good as Blue Kaizo in any way, shape, and form. It's a bit more balanced. However, I also say that it also has what I will call the single most broken Pokemon in any Pokemon ROM hack. Imagine this, right? Your Scyther has 120 attack, 120 speed, which in Generation 1 gives you a 23-24% critical hit rate. Pretty good already, right? Now imagine you have a 40 base power, 2 to 5 hit move that actually does damage to Psychic types, and Poison types, and Grass types. It's... Oh... I remember that thing literally carrying me through the Elite Four in that game. I didn't even have it at level 100, it was like level 90 or 95. This game still had EVs as well, so it's not really Kaiser. But it was a really fun way to play Pokemon Yellow, honestly. I actually quite enjoyed it. So it's getting a 7.9 from me. Uranium. It's a bit outdated in terms of even RMXP hacks nowadays. It's one of the OGs as well, in my book. It's got nuclear Pokemon, it's got a custom story. I can't rate it any higher. Like, I would if, say, this was 5 years ago. It'd be S tier. That's the problem with a few of these hacks, is that they've been outclassed now. Honestly. I'm gonna give it a 6.8. Like, it's good. Don't get me wrong, if you want to play an RMXP hack, play this. It's fun. But I found it a little slow at times, and a little bit odd. Some of the references in it are just a bit weird. But hey, it's enjoyable. Sacred Gold. This gets a S tier. For now. If I was remaking this tier list in, say, 12 months, Sacred Gold would probably be A tier. It's in the process of getting a remake, but if you want to play Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver, this is the single best way to play it. A slightly increased difficulty curve. It's not super hard, but it's harder. You have access to every Pokemon. I should have said that about a lot of these ROM hacks. Everything about Sacred Gold just hits different, bro. There's so many custom events as well in the game. The encounter tables have been completely expanded. It's just great. It's... Oh, man. I played this ROM hack in 2013. Oh, my God, I'm old. That's 10 years ago. Holy shit. You can see I'm old. Look at that. Throw the butt casually. Vietnamese Crystal. One of the... It doesn't deserve this. It deserves this. It deserves D tier. So, I'm pretty sure what Vietnamese Crystal was actually a Chinese version of Pokemon Crystal, or a Japanese version of Pokemon Crystal, I think, in like 1999, that was translated into Chinese and then into English, which makes some absolutely hilarious texts. Nothing else about the game really is different. It's just in the Japanese style, so to speak, of the Pokemon games. Like the UI and all that is. But throwing the butt casually. Or for Mother Volcano Bake Meat. If you want to check out this game, I played through like to the first gym, I want to say. On a stream one day. I've got a video of it on the channel. It's... it's definitely an experience. I'll give it like a 3.8. If you want to play Crystal, just play Crystal. This is definitely something if you want to just have a laugh playing Pokemon. So as you can see, this is the tier list as a whole. Some of these ROM hacks probably could be a little bit up or down. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Consider subscribing as it helps me out a lot. It lets me know you guys want to see this kind of content on the channel. But till next time, see you guys later. Peace.